Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the very first Expand Your Land live stream. I thought this would be a good way to connect with you guys live in person. If you want to ask questions, this is the time to do it. We can talk about land, we can talk about really anything you want. But what I thought we would do today, we actually get hundreds and hundreds of questions uh, about our properties, about the process, about everything. It mainly comes through from our ads on Facebook. So I figured we just kind of go through some of those. We'll look at some properties, we'll check them out, answer some questions, and then at the end, I'm going to show you guys a property that we haven't showed to anybody yet. This one's actually one that's coming soon. If you wanted to get your name on it, there'll be a way to do that, and we'll let you know a little bit later about that one. So let's get into some of these questions. So our first and most popular question we get all day, every day is this available? The short answer is probably yes. The vast majority of our ads are very up to date. We're really good about taking a property off of all the marketing immediately after it sells. I think that's kind of the right thing to do. I wouldn't want to buy a property and see that it's like still being marketed weeks later. So yes, there's, let's see here. Okay, so this person is asking the address for one of our properties, and it's in Bullard, Texas. And I'm gonna show you guys, I'll show it to you. Let's see. Here we go. So we got some good drone footage of it. This is our property at 228 Red Oak Drive in Bullard, Texas. One of the biggest questions we get about this one's 0.21 acres, and it's right there. You can see that there's a house behind it, and I'll show you some of the property outlines. People ask a lot of times, is that house included in the property? No, we only do raw vacant land, so we don't do anything with a house on it. So this one's interesting because it has, somebody has put in a foundation right there, the neighbors, and then there are two new builds right next to it. So this block is developing really, really quick. I really like this neighborhood. This is in the Lakewood POA, which actually brings us to one of our other questions that we get here. This guy's asking, what are the POA restrictions on this one? So this one's in a gated community. The community is called the Lakewood POA. And it's pretty nice because they maintain the gate. They maintain, there's a boat dock and a boat ramp and even a little clubhouse that you're allowed to use. And the restrictions are pretty light. So they allow manufactured homes, has to be at least 740 square feet, and it has to be new. There are a long list of restrictions, and some of the lots, there are actual lake lots in this neighborhood, and those lake properties have quite a bit more restrictions. Those ones have to be made out of brick, and there's some other things with setbacks. They want those properties to stay super nice. But other than that, it's pretty easy. So the POA fees are $300 a year. I said you can do a mobile home. you can live in an RV while you build for 6 months, and then they want you to have something more permanent. So they do not want people living in an RV out there, but it's kind of okay. There are a lot of rules about not like junking out the place. You can't have just a full-on junkyard. You say the neighbor has a few cars in their empty lot there. They're all pretty well maintained, so this is a pretty nice neighborhood, and I've been here 4 or 5 times, and it's pretty nice. So let's see what else we've got here as far as questions. Okay, so this brings us to another one of our properties. We've got this 20-acre property out in Hudspeth County. So this is something completely different. I guess before we go, hang on. Let me show you the boundary lines for this one. And I am learning this software myself. So here we go. Okay. So here are the boundary lines. You can see that cabin back behind the property. This is kind of where it goes. And you can see I've kind of put this together. That would show what about a 1,200 square foot build would fit really, really nicely right on the middle of this thing. So you have plenty of room. You know what I would probably do is put a fence around it, put a nice wooden fence, and you just have this place. It's also, the other great thing is this one's already cleared of trees, some tall grass on it, but it's pretty much ready to build on right away. So some of the trees get really huge out in this area. I'll show you a little bit more about that later. So, but let's go to this other one. I want to show you this 20-acre property. Here we go. Okay, so here we are on the one we call Cuban Court. I really love this property. I'm shocked we still have it, to be honest. We have this one on Land Arb, which means that we're working with an investor on this one. So you might see their name. It's Everland Sunset. And if you have more questions about that, I'm happy to talk more with you about that. But this one's on the side of like a mesa. And it's really, really cool. It goes way back there. So from front to back of this one is like if you go catty corner, it's like 2,100 feet. It goes all the way past the top of that hill there. But we've got this one is 20 acres, asking $750 down. So $500 plus a $250 document fee. So pretty easy. This is a great recreational property. If you wanted to go out there and pew pew your bang bangs, this would be the spot. It's some great camping. It kind of goes up in steps. So there's plenty of usable space out here where, you could set up your RV, your tent, whatever you want to do. Road access. I took all the footage of this property myself, so I know firsthand that it was fairly easy to get out to. The roads in Sierra Blanca, Texas, of course, they're all dirt, and they can change overnight. So every time I've been out there, there's kind of the main road is Big Tank Road, and you take that all the way from Sierra Blanca all the way out to the property. It's probably 10 to 12 miles out there down a dirt road. So you need to be prepared when you go out there. I took a 4-wheel drive. I don't think I really needed it to get to the property, but I was pretty happy to have it. So that's just kind of what you're dealing with. The neighbor has a windmill, so that leads me to believe there's a well there and that it's possible to get water. Not entirely sure. You need to ask a driller about that for sure. Let's look at any other questions we have about this one. So this person's asking if we have anything closer to DFW. As far as large acreages, I do not right now. I have this property, I have the Red Oak property, and I have 2 more 10-acre properties that we can take a look at if you want. This person's asking if we would do a cash discount. Of course I would. I'm happy to close through title if that's something that's important to you. We can do that. Otherwise, I'm comfortable self-closing, but that is a personal choice. So now I want to show you guys a property that we have coming soon. This one's pretty cool. So this is in the same Lakewood POA. And I have some ground pictures of it. Let me see if I can fix this. Anyway, so this one has super tall trees. It is 0.17 of an acre. So the dimensions are 114 by 66 feet. And so it's plenty big enough to put a manufactured home, mobile home, small home, something like that. It's out in Bullard, Texas, and it is approximately 2,200 feet from the lake. Let me see if we can get that pulled up. Fix my thing while I'm at it. Here we go. All right, so let's check this out. So you can see it's super close. That's Lake Palestine right there. And as we zoom in, I've got this thing on Google Earth. I can share the link with you on this too. So that'll kind of help you see the boundaries. It is I think this one's just a rock solid little lot. This is the one I said is coming soon. We're in an agreement with the seller, so we're going to acquire this thing. We'll be able to offer it to you very, very soon. If you wanted to go ahead and get your name on it, we could do it for $500 down. That's a $250 document fee plus $250 down. That will get your name on it, and if something were to happen to where the deal fell through, of course you would get a complete money back guarantee. So this is the distance to the lake that I was just showing there. So it's 2,200 feet walking distance to the lake. So super cool property. I really like it. And that's about a wrap for today. We're gonna keep this short and sweet today. Nothing crazy. On this live stream, I'm gonna try to bring on some guests for us. I'm gonna try to do this on Wednesday at 7. Tune in. Thank you so much to all of our customers, our viewers, people that we've just interacted one time. I'm just so super grateful. Do me a huge favor, subscribe to the channel. That really helps us a lot and is completely and utterly free. Thank you so much.